If he can take this this national title, he's going to be over the moon. So they come up to face the start now. I expect them all to be on slick tyres. McDonnell's got the jump on Urban, and Simon Hunter's in there. He wants to get that second spot, but Urban's got it. Zach Saloom's back in the third. Aaron Cunningham's up in about 6 spots, so he's going to be pretty happy with that. They come back down over to the hairpin over the back. Looks like McDonnell's dropped back to about 7 spots, so I'm not sure what's happened there. Ryan Urban's got the lead ahead of Simon Hunter and Zach Saloom. So talking Jordan up all day, and now he's gone and run himself off. So I'm not 100% sure what happened. Not sure if he got a hand or anything. So they're running 2 wide up into turn 1. So the order there is Urban, Hunter, Zaloom, Moore. Bradley Tyrrell up into the 5th spot. Jordan McDonnell, it's down in 6th. Couple of guys running 2 wide out of there. Aaron Cunningham down in 8th, so he couldn't convert that start. But just as I say that, Aaron Cunningham's fantastic mechanic James Stead has just walked in. So now you've got 2 of us. Hopefully it'll be a bit more entertainment. So coming down, finishing off that second lap. They've got 15 to go now. Urban leads Hunter, matching each other for time. Zaloom as well. They're within about a couple of hundredths of a second. Lane Moore's a little bit faster. That front group of 6 carts from Urban to McDonnell are within only a few hundredths of a second. McDonnell's the fastest, but he's put himself in a terrible position after that first lap. McDonnell a little bit further back off Bradley Tyrrell than he would like to be. So Aaron's got himself back up to 7th. They'll be happy with that. Bit of sweat pouring off the brow of James Stead, so he's probably been working pretty hard.
We're just on the dummy grid warming up, and we snapped a chain. So it's been a last minute chain.
Jeepers, that's shows the pressure that these guys get put under. Not what you want, but luckily Aaron's out there and he's sitting up in the 7th spot, so he's certainly not making a fool of himself.
George Keith just spun out on turn 1, but he's got back going again.
This is going to be interesting to see if McDonnell can get back up. Urban's really been untouchable other than Jordan in that last race, and Jordan doesn't seem to be able to latch himself back on to Bradley Tyrrell.
Zach Zaloom's got some pace. He just set the fastest lap of the race.
There goes Tyrrell down the inside of Moore, and Moore can't get him back on the way out.
Moore's going to be vulnerable too, coming into that hairpin of McDonnell. McDonnell, sorry.
Yep, Jordan's got by Lane Moore as well as they come over the top of the hill as I look out of our commentary booth. So looks like Lane's got dropped a little bit there. He's the current 2NZ. Racing in the OK1 kart.
Zach goes up the inside of Hunter. No, pulls back in.
So these guys are going to need to be careful. Ryan Urban is super fast in this class, so they're going to have to be smart about how they're going to bridge that gap. If they keep fighting, Ryan's just going to drive away with this one. 12 laps to go still.
Ryan just set the fastest lap of the race, eclipsing Zach Zaloom.
So 41.9. All those front guys are really, really close. Like, this is probably the closest we've seen a front bunch of guys all day today.
And Tyrrell's latched on to the back of the Hunter Zaloom group.
Ryan Urban again, nice and consistent. This is probably the way that he's going to win this race if he can. So that group is going to turn into a little battle. Tyrrell's got some real speed as well. McDonnell not as fast as I had expected. He'll be a little disappointed, but he's still done a fantastic job this weekend. Running the BRM chassis.
That little group for a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th is really going to heat up, I think. in these closing laps of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 10 to go on this one round, so these guys are going to be working hard. And they look
As
like
we say that,
Zaloom down the inside.
oh, and they've made contact, but Zach's been able to hold the second. I can just imagine Wayne Zaloom down there in the pits doing his paces, closing his eyes.
And Zach's just given the big point. He wants to go for the win. There's a reason why Zach Zaloom's got that number 1 on his cart.
And Jordan McDonald just passed Bradley into that hairpin.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. He needs to get past some of the guys a bit quicker if he wants to really chase for the lead.
He's got the pace.
Let's see how Zaloom goes now that he's been freed from the back of the Simon Hunter. So
And
42-0 for Urban, 42-2 for Zaloom.
Jordan's been engineered by Gary Wilson this weekend, so he's got an experienced man on the spanners.
Gary Wilson, of course,
Carl's
father of Carl Wilson. Carl's had some great results, even in this class, or maybe senior Yamaha Heavy.
Yep, he's definitely won a...
He's won some Yamaha Heavy titles before, for sure.
Zach's been able to break away from Simon Hunter, just a few kart lengths, get a bit of breathing space.
I may have lied. Carl Wilson may not have...
Jordan just set the fastest lap. He was 2 tenths quicker than Ryan Urban, so
that BRM's coming on.
So if he can get some clear air and make a few passes, you know, we could see him fighting with Ryan towards the end of the race.
He's just got to be consistent now. He doesn't want to lose too much time. He's 2 tenths quicker. The only other guy that's really that fast is Bradley Tyrrell, who's behind him, so he's got a lot of work to do. There's 7 laps to go this time round.
Aaron Cunningham's going good. He set his fastest lap of the race weekend. It's a shame it only puts him 7th at the moment.
He'll be happy with being at 7th. I noticed he's changed his suit, so possibly soiled his undies in that last one.
Yeah. Got a bit excited. He was top 5 and couldn't believe his luck.
Oh, mate. Over the moon. So, still Urban. Got a bit of a gap, just under a second to Zaloom. Zaloom's a little bit faster on that last one. I'll see what they are this time round. 42-2, 42-0 for Zaloom, 42-1 for Simon. McDonnell's dropped back behind Tyrrell, was he? Was he ahead in that last one?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, Richard, except something happened. He was the fastest, and now he's a second or 8 tenths slower than Ryan on that last lap. So he's had an off or an error or a mistake somewhere around there.
That's where the difference comes in experience between these guys. Obviously, Jordan's super quick. He won that pre-final, and he put a lot of pressure on Ryan throughout the day. But you see, Ryan's just got the consistency. He's running within 2 tenths of a second every single lap. He's also got himself a really good track position, obviously, being out the front there.
Yeah, Jordan hasn't been in the seat as much as he used to when he was in the junior ranks, and I think that might be costing him a little bit, and a little bit now.
Yeah, like that last lap for Jordan was a 42-1, so he's picked up nearly a second in that one lap.
Bradley Tyrrell was fastest on that last lap. He just did his fastest lap of the race.
So 5 laps to go. Urban's still looking pretty comfortable ahead of Zaloom.
The gap is closing though.
Zaloom's got a little bit of speed. Like we mentioned earlier, it's one thing to catch, another to pass. Zaloom really tucking his head down. The order now: Urban, Zaloom, Hunter, Tyrrell, McDonnell, Moore. Aaron Cunningham in 7th, and Brendan Gridley in 8th spot.
The gap between Ryan and Zach is now down to just over half a second. You know, so
he's running consistently about a tenth or 2 tenths a lap faster. So
he's really going to have to push to latch onto the back of Ryan, and then hopefully get a toe down the front straight here.
Just seen Teddy Bassett go to the corner of that shot, making a move on, I think it was Taylor Forbes there. So Teddy's moving his way forward through the back of the pack. Zach's really working hard. He's just done a 41.9. Fastest lap for him today is a 41.9. So Urban in a 42.2. He's really cut that gap down to 3/10 now. 3 to go, so he's got to do something soon.
Gap's down to two kart lengths.
So that's your, there's your leaders. No, that's not your leaders. What am I talking about? There they are. And you can see now Zach is right on the back of him. There's a reason that he's the national champion. Is he going to be close enough to have a look down in here into 1? 2 laps to go. He's going to want to do something before Ryan starts to block. Is he going to put it down the inside here? No.
It's down to a 10th. This is going to be a good finish.
And he's come... Oh, he's right over the back of him.
He doesn't have a look. He does have a look.
He's had a look.
They're
down.
running side by side up the hill, but Ryan just has that better exit speed. So Zach's really there now. It's going to be all on in these last couple of laps.
1 lap to go at the end of this one, so Zach's going to have to put his balls on the line if he wants this.
He wants to go back to back. Repeat what happened 12 months ago.
That was a fantastic drive in Wellington last year when he took the national title. So here he is. He's not quite as close this time round, but maybe he's going to get a better run through the sweeper. Is he going to have a look? Ryan's not running defensive. He's got a good drive out of there, Ryan Urban.
Nice and narrow. He's jumped out to about 2 kart length lead going into that hairpin
So
over
only
there.
a few laps to go. Simon Hunter sitting in the 3rd spot. Bradley Tyrrell 4th. Jordan McDonnell back in 5th and Lane Moore in 6th.
Aaron Cunningham still trucking along in 7th there.
He's still not going to get by him. So they're coming up to this. Is he going to have a look down the last turn? He's not close enough. Now it looks like Ryan Urban is going to take out the 2014 Rotax Max Heavy title. Good job for Ryan there. That was a fantastic drive.
From Zach, from Simon, Bradley Tyrrell came in 4th. Jordan with his speed was only able to, after he got shuffled at the start there, cross the line in 5th. From Lane Moore from Australia. Then Aaron Cunningham rounds out the top 7.
Just watching Ryan, he's doing a nice slow lap. Something that we haven't seen this weekend, but often overseas what they'll do is they'll, on their warm down lap, sit the kart right over into
the marbles.
Into the marbles, as we call them, just the developed rubber that comes off the tyres, and you pick up a few hundred grams, but when you're running a thing really close to the weight limit, you always want to be safe, especially if you won a national title. It's not going to cost you anything to pick up a few of those marbles.